We're back. Welcome to the premiere of Season 2 of The Qualk Show. And might I add, happy Saturday night, or as those parents of us call it, just another day, living the dream. I'm your host, Carol Rosher, and on tonight's panel we have Stephanie, a mama to a 10-month-old as well as a 4-year-old. We have Hallie, who is a single lesbian mom to a 6-year-old. I love how we put lesbian in there, like that makes a difference.
Like, I'm the only one that identified.
A lesbian mother. She's lesbian. And we begin Season 2 with a couple of guest panelists for you guys. Rosala Carrington. Riz came on last season as a guest, and we liked her so much that we wanted to bring her back. We needed to bring her back. She's the founder of lesbianpride.com, as well as the Lesbian Pride page on Facebook. She is also the mom to a 70-year-old. Fur baby, that is. We are also very lucky to have Amanda Kendall on the show this evening. Amanda runs a YouTube vlog called Queer as Futch, and she is a mom for kids ranging from 2.5 years old all the way up to 13. Oh my God, God bless you, and all of that stuff. We decided that there are just so many voices in the queer spectrum moms community, and we decided we wanted to expand our panel. We wanted to welcome some new faces, to keep our discussions fresh, and what we'll be doing is we'll be rotating panelists in and out all season long. So if you have something that you want to say and you think that you would be great on our panel, write in to thequalkshow@gmail.com. Hallie, how is everybody going to be getting a hold of us tonight? What's changed? Can they talk to us?
They can talk to us. I put the link, if you're watching this, you're probably watching it on the link that we put up on our Qualk Show Facebook page.
There you go.
we have been posting all week about becoming a Qualkie-Talkie, an official Qualkie-Talkie. This is extremely important because going forward, if you want to hear the second 30 minutes of the show, spoiler alert, it's only a 30-minute show, you're going to have to be a Qualkie-Talkie, and we will send you the special link. So if you want to be special, go to thequalkshow.world and sign up.
Well, everybody's special, but, some of us in the good way, some of us in the special way.
Yeah.
On tonight's show, we will have our hot flashes that you have all come to love, followed by a discussion about allies in the Black Lives Matter movement and how this movement affects all of us. For our exclusive Qualkie-Talkie members, you're in for a real special treat. Our private after show will include a discussion on OITNB, and here's a spoiler. If you haven't seen this season, you might want to tape this or save it for later. Tape this. I just showed that I'm 41. If you can put a cassette tape in the cassette, and then you just press record, okay? We're going to have juicy, exclusive content, including talking with the cast, prizes that can be won, exclusive access to and further discussions and interaction with us. It's just going to be crazy on the other half. And we heard you loud and queer, folks. We know you are busy being moms, and if you make it to 20 minutes, we're probably having a good night before your kid needs to be changed or put to bed or bath, and you can't commit to a full hour show. So what we've done is we have shortened our format to a 30-minute format. That's right. You're going to get a live 30 minutes with us, and then if you're having a good time and you've become an exclusive Qualkie-Talkie member, join us on the other side for continued discussion and access to the panel as we continue the show on podcast for the second half. Hallie, once again, how can the people that are going, how do I do this? Some of our fans are my age, and there's no way that they're going to be knowing what's going on because I wouldn't. How do they do it? Simple steps.
Simple steps. Go to The Qualk Show on Facebook, and there's links everywhere. Follow the link. I promise.
Tell them what a link is. Some of them don't even know what
it's
a link
really,
is.
really pretty. It's from the picture that I can see right now. It's an orange link. It says Season 2, Episode 1, How to Be an Ally. Click it. Touch it.
Boom.
Touch it with the mouse. Just
Boom.
rub on it.
I love it. I love it. All right, so let's go ahead let's keep it rolling with hot flashes. Mila Kunis went public this week stating that her and Ashton's biggest concern when raising their kids was to bring them up to not be little assholes. I love the way that they put this, but how do we really accomplish this?
I think that you don't accept asshole behavior. Like,
I have a simple solution. Just tell them no.
There you go.
Teach them to accept the word no. That's it.
100%.
I think one of the things that is a big thing in our society is what actually makes somebody an asshole. I feel like it's entitlement. Yeah. And if you actually, like, if you read the article that they actually put out, she was talking about it. Like, you know, Ashton and I maybe have money, but our children are poor. And
yeah,
I love
100%. 100%. And that is, you know, I think all of these, we all know it deep down inside, whether you want to admit it or not. A lot of it comes, it's up to the parenting when the final product, and you kind of see that. So, I mean, I think that's all of our hope, that we don't raise little assholes. Clara Yoon is calling out the Asian community in regards to keeping their children closeted. She states that though many LGBT plus Asians are out in the community, they're not out. They're closeted with their families because they're fearful of coming out to their parents and dishonoring or shaming their families. Do you think it's harder coming out when you are Black, Hispanic, Asian, etc., because of cultural differences other than Caucasian? Maybe.
No.
No?
I mean, like, I would say yes.
Yep. See, that's what I was. Yeah. All the white people are like, no, there's no.
I'm like, I have no room to talk on this.
Honestly, like, I'm in the freaking Bible Belt. It's not easy to come out gay here.
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
true. That's true.
It probably depends on your experience, but I think it's just like you kind of said it. You know, there's a tradition. You know, like they don't want to. You just said it. Sorry, I'm lost for words. But my dad specifically, like, he was born in 1936, so he was like he was before the baby boomers, and so he's like, we knew about gay people, but it's seen but not heard. So that's what he lives by. And my mom was the same way. She was like she's Filipino, so she was like, it's seen but not heard. You just don't talk about it. You're gay, but you don't talk about it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's definitely like a geographical thing. Like we're at California, that's so much easier to come out. Whereas like you're in Tennessee, every freaking corner you turn, you got a church. You know, in my small town, you can drive, and KFC's freaking advertisement thing has a damn scripture up. You know, I take my girlfriend to our local supermarket, and they look at me like I kidnapped her and brought her to, like, my queer ways.
Nice. Well, you did, and you got a toaster oven for it. So after Australia nabbed gold in Olympic rugby this past week at the Olympics, Marjorie Enya stepped onto the field and she proposed to Brazilian rugby player Isidoro Carullo. Did you ever think that you would see the day that this sort of public display would be okay for people in the community? And does it mean that things are finally changing globally?
Yeah.
Freaking yeah.
Hell yes. I'm glad that they're changing, and I'm glad that it's happening. I didn't think that I would see that on such a world televised event. That definitely was surprising.
The whole world's
made my heart so happy.
How freaking inspiring is that crap, right?
Right?
And like,
I gotta be honest with you though, it didn't faze me at all. And actually, after I watched it, I was like, "That's so cute." And then it wasn't until after people already were like, "Oh, it's so cute, it's gay, everybody." Blah, blah, blah. And
it's so cute, it's gay.
I was like, oh, that's right, because I have been living my life for so long that I totally forget I'm gay again, unless somebody reminds me. And so for me, I see them all the time, and that was totally natural and normal.
I love that. I wish society was more like that. If you think about 4 years ago when we had the Olympics, there was no recognition in the LGBTQ community at all. In the Winter Olympics 2 years ago, it was held in a place that actually essentially criminalized anybody that identified as a gay, queer, lesbian.
Amen, sister. Amen.
This year, we actually had 47 open LGBT community people, as well as 3 coaches.
Yeah.
And then we had our first married lesbian athletes that competed together. We had our first transgender that actually did it this year.
And those are the ones that are out. Come on, a lot of them girls are dykes. We all know it. Come on.
Okay.
Half the basketball team, half the rugby team, all of the swimming team. Come on.
They're just in the closet anyway, right?
I'm just kidding, all of you guys out there that play professional sports.
I really thought it was awesome, though, because our first transgender man was actually taken, Nike actually put him in a commercial.
Saw that.
I
awesome?
saw that, actually. That was amazing.
And actually, the regulations, transgender men and women can actually compete in the Olympics. They've changed all of that stuff.
I love that.
I think it's really cool. One of the things that I was reading is, for a transgender woman, she just needs to identify herself as a female when she's going to compete.
Yeah.
And transgender men are allowed to compete without any restrictions. The transgender woman does have to make sure their testosterone level is the same or below.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
That's it. They used to have to.
No, I think that would actually be a really cool topic for another show, or a special or something about all the ins and outs and rights and wrongs of that whole situation. You've piqued my interest, Amanda. As I'm sure you've piqued many of our viewers' interests as well. Let's give a shout out to our allies. Okay, as LGBT plus folks, members of the queer community, our panel recognizes that allies are a vital part of our family, our community, and our movement going forward. I want to know what makes somebody a great ally, and to you guys, why are allies important? I think I know why. Why do you think allies are important?
I will speak on this first, if that's okay, because when I came out in high school, if you want to call it coming out, I didn't have any other gay friends. I had one other kid that actually turned out to be my first friend ever in high school, who he had a crush on another guy, and so we bonded over that. But most of the time, all those friends were heterosexual. And it literally, as at the end of the 90s, where everyone was like, so? And so I think because my support system was very strong, and I looked at it as only weird if older people tried to make it an issue, I don't know where I'd be if I didn't have the ally support. And I feel really fortunate that I have those, collective 10 people in my life still now. And over the course of the last 15 years, if you ask any of those straight people, about gay marriage or whatever, they're like, yeah, this should have been around, or what happened, or, what's the big deal? And if you look at the wedding pictures that I post up, I posted one on our website, qualkshow.org. All the people in the background, straight, right? So our entire network is built up of allies, and what's nice about that is that even though I have my queer community, I have my gay friends, and they hold me together and get what I go through, my ally people are who built me.
Yeah, for sure.
I have to say, my strongest ally is actually the father of my 4 kids.
Wow.
Awesome.
Our friendship is very strong. And it makes our family dynamic even stronger. He supports the relationship I have with my girlfriend, and I'm sure their mom too. So
I love that. I love that. And as we go further along in the season, and our viewers get to know you a little bit better, Amanda, save up all those questions you might have for Amanda for other shows where we visit different topics and talk about different things, because this girl from down south is a wealth of information. A wealth of information. I kind of agree with what you're saying, Stephanie, for my input. It's like, you've got your gay buddies and your gay friends, and that's where you feel most natural for a lot of us, and that's where you're, in your comfort level and blah, blah, blah. But you always have to leave the bar, and you always have to, your family, your friends from school, your different people that around you, without straight people that accepted you and were rooting for you, aka our allies, I mean, what are we? We're just like, you know, a little minority with our friends at the club. I mean, allies is what broadens us to mainstream society and makes it all okay. What do you think, Riz?
Hey guys, why is that?
You're the cutest thing ever. I cannot take you.
Super cute. Super cute.
You literally make my heart explode with joy.
For Riz.
Alright, what's up? Shout out to Lesbian Pride. We have 100 people. They've been on consistently since the beginning.
Boom! Lesbian Pride.
Hi, Lesbian Pride. I'm trying to chat with you right now.
Yeah. You chatted up with Hallie this time?
Why don't you guys go to our YouTube channel and sign up? Because I'm only seeing 5 viewers.
Exactly. Get on over to YouTube.
It'll only show me the people who've actually subscribed to the YouTube channel, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead, Rose.
Oh, yeah. After you said that, like 110 people hopped on, so
boom.
I'm down to 4 viewers. Somebody didn't like that.
Lesbian Pride, you want to be on the Qualk Show? You got to hit us up on the YouTube page, take part in the chat, and stay tuned for the second half for sure. So, Riz, you know, especially in the USA right now, the political climate being what it is and everything that's going on with Trump and this Black Lives Matter movement and, you know, what's going on in the streets of the USA, allies are so important. But it also seems important to be a good ally to other disenfranchised groups. And most urgently, the Black Lives Matter movement. How can we be allies? And I know you do not speak for the entire Black community, Riz. We are not putting that responsibility on your shoulders today. But, you know, what are some of the things that you think could help close that gap? Because here's one of the things that I see is, and I've mentioned this to you guys before, is that in the gay community, we love, we embrace, we honor, we are so appreciative of our allies because we get that without them, we're just a small minority. But for some reason, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's harder to kind of insinuate yourself as a Black Lives Matter ally. For some reason, it's not accepted or you know, it's kind of looked down upon. Do you get any feeling like that?
You know, like, it's funny because, like, you know, the answers to any question is more than just a straightforward black and white. There's always a gray area. Mm-hmm. There's always reasons why it's harder to be an ally for the Black community. Maybe because as within the Black community there could be some animosity, some hostility towards anyone outside of that community because sometimes we feel or they feel or all of us feel. I don't know what to say sometimes. So. You know, like, it's like, who are you to say, how can you understand, you know, what I'm going through? You're not Black, you know, you're not this, you're not that. So there's a lot of back and forth, and I'm in California, so who am I to say I know what it's like to be with a Black person? Amanda might know more and understand more what's going on as far as, like, face-to-face, because, like, I only have a few friends out in the South versus, like, actually having friends and living in the South, you know, that's a completely different life, you know. So to be an ally, or why is it so hard to be an ally, I feel it can be just years and years and years, hundreds of years, some would even say thousands of years, of just racial, what do I want to say? I had it in my head. Dang it.
Mm-hmm. Do you think, you know, we've seen so much progression in the LGBT plus movement over the last 5 or 10 years. It seems like, you know, the Black movement or anybody, any other ethnic place seems to be kind of stuck in the same errors going along. Like, what is going to push it forward? What can we do to, you know, for a tomorrow for our children that doesn't include color, or is that just idealistic and will never be?
Well, first I want to say, like, there has been momentum and movement.
For sure.
You know, like maybe not as much as we'd like, you know.
Certainly.
And also, mass media doesn't put out as much as there actually is. I mean, look at the Olympic team. Look at our team, the colleges. Look at they just did a study as far as Black women. Black women are the most educated minority group. So, I mean, the mass 100%. Media doesn't like to, you know what I mean? So I just want to say that for the, I know you are. Yeah.
Maybe it's just the LGBT movement is, I guess, on mass media, like you're saying, more. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So I would say, sometimes, a lot of times, and I hate to say this, but sometimes it's racially fueled to put us against each other, to divide us as a nation, as a human race. So I don't want to say that, like, I'm that person who's like, yes, I understand Black Lives Matter, but I also understand why it's there, but I also understand what it's actually, it's not necessarily bringing us together. It might also be at the same time bringing us apart. So I understand what's going on, but there has been momentum, and I guess the topic of our topic is how can we, bring to our children, how can we incorporate the Black Lives Matter movement? And just to say, like, I think we talked about this a lot. It's just kind of like education.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that, and just educate our children that, like, Black History Month isn't just Black History Month, it's history. LGBT isn't LGBT History Month, it's history, So it's kind of like making it a norm, like like what Stephanie said. It was so normal for her to see, that proposal. Same thing, just talking to our kids like it's a normal thing. These are Black people. This is their lifestyle. We're integrating everything we can think about. Instead of just dividing us, we can just, bring it together.
Mm-hmm. I actually want to point this out, right? So my friend Malika, oh yeah, man, I'm totally calling you out. Because I told her today, I was like, do you want to come to the show? I'm going to read exactly what she wrote today.
Calling you out.
She said, my 2 cents on the Olympics. If you said it to yourself, wow, it looks like a lot of Black people winning in new categories. I didn't think Black people were interested in fencing, swimming, shot put, gymnastics. If you said or thought anything like that, remember that in order to be interested in something, you need to have access to it. There is no great mystery as to why we are seeing all those Black Olympians take gold. Black people are really just beginning to gain access. She goes on to explain that.
I like that.
Huge.
Wow, that's really good.
It's huge, and that's what's lifted our community up. Access, visibility.
100%.
Droves and droves of homosexuals went into entertainment, and we benefited from that. And without access to being in front of the camera, behind the camera, creating content, molding the content, being responsible for the people who are responsible to create the content creators, we would not be where we are. So we took advantage of the wave of the civil rights movement and had a little bit of white privilege in there overall. Yeah. Because most people associated with us. But when you look from the Black Lives Matter movement, giving them access to what we would consider normal culture is important. I did the same thing. I just wrote back to her earlier today. I said, it literally did not occur to me that the girl who was crying after she won the swim, her gold medal, I didn't even recognize at first she was Black. I recognized, number one, she praised Jesus, and then she was crying, and I'm like weeping because I'm a nerd, and I cry over everything. And then my wife had said, and isn't that, or the reporter goes, oh, and you're the first Black swimmer to ever win it. And I was like, why'd you have to go there? What a fucking shame. You just ripped the gold medal out of her hand again, and you didn't even notice. Yeah. It's so disgusting. Yeah. You just need to surround yourself, I think, by people who get life and don't pay attention because it's just part of the norm.
So to pull it all back together and, basically to take it to a place of the Black Lives Matter movement, how do we get involved? Because we want to create a better world for our children tomorrow. My child, personally, is not white. She's a mixture of a lot of different things. And whether or not that's the case or not, how do we make things safer for our families? With these Black kids that are being shot and Black men that are being shot for reaching for their wallet, for all of these other things, what has basically culminated in driving the Black Lives Matter movement, how do we teach our kids to not be caught up in this sort of situation?
Like I said earlier, that this is more than just a white and Black answer. It's right. And this is a lot of things, like what Stephanie just said and what Amanda wrote to Stephanie. It's systematic. There was a reason why we didn't get access to this. Systematic discrimination, all that stuff. And once we understand what was done to us, we're the anger, the Black lives, and I conversate a lot with people, like they're like, for me, I can't be angry because I didn't have to deal with that, So I'm not going to carry a chip on my shoulder and be angry at the fact. But what I will do is I will educate others, educate myself on how this happened. It didn't just happen to where we didn't have access to this and that. So how can we move forward as a together? And I think outside of being a person of color is to simply just listen. You can't say, like, as I said before, like, you don't want to say I understand what you're going through, because the truth is someone will instantly come back at you and say, you don't know what I'm going.
100%.
Yeah. So it's the simple phrase of I understand that you're angry. I understand that your culture was, screwed out of a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry I said shit. I don't
100%.
know.
Oh.
You can curse here. It's all good.
But and a lot of times even listening is the biggest thing. Listening, oftentimes, it's okay. I oftentimes tell people I don't have an answer to that, or I wish I could give you say something. The most important thing you can say to someone is something from the heart. And sometimes it's not an answer. It's not something that makes them feel better. It's just, hey, this is how it is, But what I will do is I will educate myself on the movement and, spread the word. That's what I always tell people.
Yeah. And at the very least, take a pause and say, you know what? You've given me something to think about.
Yeah.
And that's all we can really hope to do for any ally of any minority, color, sexuality, any of that. What were you going to say, Amanda, real quick?
I was going to say we become allies as well for those that are suffering with that kind of stuff.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
And all of us should be allies for each other because, what better ally than someone who, at least on some level can appreciate some of the different things that minorities go through. And some of them are similar and some of them are extremely different. But we're all trying to rise up.
One of the things I learned from my ally friends is that they've been so used to me and supporting my wife, and they were there for me when I had my kids, and no matter what I go through, they see me as completely their equal, is that they don't have that shock value anymore. So they don't say, oh, I got a gay cousin. Do you know Sally Jones from New Jersey? No, I really don't. They don't clump it all together. It's not new news. So when they don't feel the need to associate me anymore, they just act as if I'm normal. And so if they always stop.
But you're not normal.
Absorb, I'm not normal. Homosexuals are normal. I'm not. But I watch them stop, absorb, and then they keep it to themselves. If it's something fresh and new from our, if I take them to a gay club, they stop, they absorb it, and they keep it to themselves. And it's never like something that's public. And I think that's really important. That's something I learned from an ally, and that's what's teaching me to be a better ally for the Black Lives Matter movement.
I love it. We're going to leave it there for this half hour. I know it goes by like boom, the first half hour. And I know that we're leaving you wanting more. Just, like we always do. But,
it's so important. You got to leave them wanting more. Like, it's a crucial part. Trust me, I'm in the dating.
We know you want more. We know you want it. It's been an enlightening first half hour, ladies.
Swipe left.
Yeah, exactly. Hallie, one more time for the people in the back. How are people watching the second half of this show tonight?
We are going to be sending it out, right?
Yeah.
Sending it out to all of our exclusive Qualky Talkie members. I am posting the link. Exclusive. Doesn't cost you anything right now because we love you. Red light special. I'm going to be posting that within the next minute. Whoa, that's not what I wanted to post. Calm down, Facebook. I'm going to be posting
you might want to see what you just posted. It was an accident. Never know with this girl.
You really don't anymore. You don't want to know what's on my phone. So I'm going to be posting it. Make sure that you follow the link. You sign up to be an exclusive Qualky Talkie, and we will be sending you the link so you can listen to the second half.
Boom!
See.
We will see you on the second half. Thanks for tuning in to the live portion of tonight's show. If you're having fun and or you want to have your say too, make sure, as Hallie said, that you're an exclusive Qualky Talkie member. And see us on the other side for candid, continued conversation and so much more. You are not going to want to miss a minute of what's happening on the other side. Hallie may or may not still have clothes on. And
probably won't.
Probably will not. And if you're leaving us, cheers. Tune in next week as we take on gender reveal parties and how sexual fluidity is changing things nowadays and changing things for parents.
You lost it, baby!
That's it,
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Bring it back!
You know what? It's the first show of a new format. Get off my back!
Get out of this one!
Cheers, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
See? Now I'm messing up and I'm not pushing stop.